Hello everyone and welcome to another SkillCapped guide. In this guide you will learn another 25 tips and tricks to help bring your game to the next level. This information has been curated by the top Valorant players and coaches who have spent countless hours of research to give you the most effective and up-to-date tips that you won't find anywhere else. Remember to click the sub button and the bell icon to keep up to date with the most high quality Valorant guides that you will find. Hopefully, even if you are an experienced player, you can learn some things from this guide. Tip number 1 revolves around recoil control. In Valorant, each gun has a unique recoil pattern that you can learn. For instance, the Vandal's looks like this. You see it moves up, left, right, then left again. We can control this by moving our mouse in the opposite direction. This will keep your bullets in a tight circle, securing you more kills than if you were to tap fire. Remember, every gun has different recoil and spray patterns, so test and learn how to use each and every different gun. A great way to learn and test each varying spray pattern is by going to this target in the training ground. Hold left click while not moving your mouse. Look and see what pattern it leaves. Do the opposite of this pattern to counter this recoil. On to tip number 2, this is simple but effective. It has to do with how you defuse the bomb, especially in clutch situations. When you start to defuse the spike, there is a bar at the halfway mark. You can make it to this halfway mark, the spike will stay there and only take 3.5 seconds to defuse, even if you stop defusing. This is especially useful while clutching because you can start the defuse, get to halfway, and then go and secure the final kill that you need and finish the defuse. This not only applies pressure to the defending team, it also saves you time when you go to finally stick the defuse. Tip number 3 will help you learn the maps and win more games, and this is by mastering a single area of a map at a time. For example, on attack on Haven, try attacking C site until you get a solid idea of how that area of the map works. Same idea for defense. Try to play one area of the map at a time to learn it before moving on to the next one. This will allow you to learn all of the angles and possibilities on each and every area of each map. On to tip number 4, we're going to talk more about abilities. Something that I see many players don't actually know is that you can use your minimap to see where abilities are being used. Anything from Omen smokes to breach ults can be seen on the minimap. Use this to help correctly place your abilities as well as stay aware of enemy abilities. And tip number 5 is common in almost all FPS titles out right now, but is even more relevant in Valorant than most titles. This is angle advantage. Put simply, angle advantage describes the time when the player further away from the angle is able to see the player close to the angle faster. This might sound confusing, but this diagram shows exactly how this works. Use this angle advantage to your advantage and try and play further away as you peek. Now tip number 6 is don't ADS. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, there are times where aiming down sights is useful, but let me explain why aiming down sights is inefficient in most situations. While aiming down sights, your gun shoots slower. Automatically, this gives the enemy the upper hand as they will get more bullets off faster. In encounters that are around 40 to 50 meters, aiming down sights can be useful to see the enemy clearer and control your recoil better, but overall, using the ADS feature is less effective than shooting normally. Now tip number 7 is less about gameplay and more about settings. In competitive shooters, the amount of frames per second you get is important. Put simply, the more frames you have, the faster you will be able to see things. I would recommend running the game on all low settings no matter what kind of computer you're gaming on. This is for a couple of reasons. 1, the game will look great on low settings and will run smoother. 2, it is less distracting when your surroundings are more bare. And 3, you can always have some more frames. Find settings that work best for you though and your system, but remember to maximize your FPS, especially since there are FPS issues in Valorant right now. For our next 3 tips, we are going to go over one quick tip for every map in hopes to help you master these maps. So tip number 8 is going to talk about Haven. I hear players talk about how defending Haven is so difficult. When playing Haven on defense, you have to have some players flanking constantly. This doesn't mean to always flank in the exact same way every time, but use these flanks often to surprise the enemy. Our next tip of the guide will be on the map Bind. Bind is a very unique map as it has a set of teleporters around it. Using both of these teleporters creatively is important. Not only should you use them to quickly rotate to another site, but you should also be shooting abilities through them to get info on the other side. And our most important quick tip for Split explains mid control. On Split, mid control is crucial to winning. This doesn't mean you have to contest it every round, but using utility to control mid and gain information on where the enemy team is playing is crucial. Now on to tips 11 through 20. These are going to be agent specific for each agent in Valorant right now. We're going to start with Jett and then give a tip for each agent as we go along. So for number 11, we are going to talk about Jett's secret ability. Jett has her 3 set abilities and an ultimate that all players know of. What you may not know is that while playing Jett, you can actually hold spacebar to float down from height. You can even jump and hold spacebar and you will slowly fall from the sky. You are inaccurate while in this floating state, but floating can be used to get to some unexpected positions to surprise your enemy. Next up, let's talk about Omen and how to use his teleport ability to completely confuse your enemies. Tip number 12 is the Omen fake teleport on Bind. On Bind, there are 2 teleporters. These make noise when a player goes through to indicate that a player has teleported. This allows you to move to another part of the map and apply pressure to a part of the map that would usually be free. Using Omen's teleport ability, you can actually fake this teleport. Let me show you how. Hold this teleport ability out and jump through. Before you're fully through, use your ability on the side you started on. It looks like this. This makes the noise of the teleporter, but allows you to stay on the original site you were on. And moving on to number 13, we have a tip for everyone's favorite fire throwing agent. Phoenix has a couple of abilities that allow him to use fire to isolate an area of the map. We're going to talk about the Phoenix wall specifically for this tip though. Phoenix's wall can block off line of sight from the enemy, but many players just use the ability normally and don't utilize its full potential. With Phoenix's wall, you can actually curve it to go around corners, different angles, and even above things. Use this tip to block off even more angles with only having to use one wall. Tip number 14 is going to be another way to utilize an ability in a unique fashion. Let's talk about Brimstone Smokes. Many players think that Brimstone Smokes are powerful on their own, but when using this tip, they become unbeatable. There are a couple places in Valorant that you can actually do a one-way smoke. What this means is you can throw a smoke down that obscures the enemy's vision, but allows you to see them. The most important and useful area you can use this on is Bind A site. Place your smoke right here on the box and you will be able to see the enemy's feet while they won't be able to see you at all. Next, let's talk about arguably the most powerful agent in Valorant. You guessed it, we're going to talk about Sage. Sage has her amazing wall ability that is usually used to block off some sort of entrance to prevent players from coming. This leads us to tip number 15. Blocking off an entrance is a great way to use the wall, but you can add even more use to it by boosting on top of that wall. Place the wall underneath you or your teammates and you will end up on top of it. You can use this to hold an unexpected angle, get somewhere you normally couldn't, and even get a free kill if you are lucky. The next tip is similar, but even more useful. Tip number 16 is going to be about Raze and her blast packs. Most new players see Raze's blast packs as a way to do some damage and maybe even kill a couple enemies, but you can actually boost yourself with these. Place a blast pack below you and jump. While you're in the air, click the button that you placed the pack with. This will explode it and shoot you into the air. Experiment with the physics of it and get yourself to some unexpected positions. On to tip number 17, let's talk about the bow-wielding powerhouse that is SOVA. SOVA is a great agent to gain intel, and with this tip, you will start to get a ton of free kills with him as well. Here's what you're going to want to do. Use your drone and land a dart on someone. This will allow you to see them through the wall. Now immediately cancel your drone and use your ultimate. You will now see them through the wall while using your ult, netting you an absolutely free kill. Tip number 18 is going to be all about Breach. Breach is a powerful agent that has enough stuns and slows to stop almost any push possible. For this tip, we are going to talk specifically about Breach's flash ability. The flash that Breach possesses is slow enough to look away from. This can lead to you dying to people that you thought would be blind. To fix this, flash very high up on a wall instead of the normal angle. If the flash is anywhere on the enemy's screen, they will be blind. This makes it harder to look away from and gives you more free kills. Another small tip to help you is to look at your map while using these abilities to see exactly where they're going to be going. Moving on, we are going to talk about Viper. Tip number 19 is going to completely revolve around Viper's ultimate and how to use it to its full potential. While on defense, Viper's ultimate might seem almost useless. There are not many situations where using it makes sense. Well, instead of waiting to find the perfect moment to use it at the start of a round on a bomb site. This will do a couple of things. This will allow you to solo the bomb site depending on the map, and this will discourage the enemy team from coming here. This can turn into a risky strategy, but using the ultimate this way is better than not using it at all. And heading into our final agent tip is tip number 20, we have Cypher. Cypher, when used correctly, can be a deadly agent that provides his team crucial information. Let's talk about his tripwire ability. Cypher's tripwires eventually become very predictable when placed in the same place. Make sure you're placing your tripwires unpredictably and smart every single round. Also, be sure to pick up any extra tripwires at the end of the round to save yourself on those extra credits. Now that we have gone over an important tip to know for each agent, let's finish off with our last 5 tips with some great information to help you up your game. To start, let's talk about bunny hopping and why it's so important. Bunny hopping is important for many reasons. One of the main reasons being you don't lose acceleration when hit. This means if you bunny hop across a hallway and you get tagged, you won't actually be slowed until you land. This is helpful when trying to get out of any precarious situation. We here at SkillCapped have already covered an in-depth video on how to bunny hop, so be sure to check that video out, linked at the top right now. On to tip number 22. Let's talk about how to defend a site unpredictably. Although we recommend you play one area of the map at a time, make sure to switch up how you're playing that area. For instance, on defense in Haven Garage, don't just stand in the same place every round. Try playing up close, try playing the left side, then the right side, then in the window. Try switching up how you're defending or attacking the area of the map to make yourself unpredictable. This will keep the enemies on their toes and will make you a much harder defender to kill. Tip number 23 is one of the simplest yet still unknown tips to a lot of brand new players. In Valorant, you start the round with time to buy your guns and prepare for the round. Many times, players will accidentally buy the wrong weapon and think that they're stuck with it. This is not the case. You can right-click the weapon or ability that you just bought to sell it and regain the full amount of credits that you paid. You can even request a teammate buy you a gun by right-clicking a weapon before you buy it. As we continue to tip number 24, I would like to thank you for continuing to watch this video and experiencing the SkillCapped difference. Team damage. Some people love it, some people hate it. In Valorant, your guns can't do damage to teammates. You still can do team damage with abilities though. Always stay on the lookout for teammate locations when you use these damage dealing abilities. And for our final tip, let's talk about how ranked mode works and how you can work your way up the ranks. Basically, in Valorant, your solo performance has a huge effect on your rank. Use this to your advantage and play agents that get a lot of free kills while you solo queue in ranked. This will lead to your rank increasing dramatically, even if you experience the occasional loss. We just went over 25 tips and tricks that will help all of you win more games, get more kills, and be a better teammate. Which tip was the most helpful for you? Let us know in the comment section below, as we would love to hear. Also, if you want to keep up with some of the best Valorant content on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon, and leave a like if you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching this SkillCapped guide. This has been Carnage, and I hope to see you in the next one.